It's time for more big numbers, and it all starts with one single die being rolled multiple times. Eventually the numbers will hopefully get so big the game gives up. Before doing anything, we need to roll a bunch of times to save up some money. The first thing I want to buy is adding +5 to one of the die. That costs $223, so we'll roll until that happens. Then we'll add +5 to the number 1. Now we have 2 6s on our die, which means even easier earnings. The next thing I want is the half incrementer. We've re-rolled the shop a few times to get to it. That costs $129. But now the average roll has gone up by quite a bit because we no longer have a 1, we have a 6 instead. The half incrementer, if you don't know, will increase the value of one die. Every 2 times it's rolled, it goes up by 1. So I'm going to throw it on one of the 6s because I need bigger numbers faster. And these are obviously especially powerful early game because they have 2400 rolls to get bigger. There is also a re-roller. So if I put that on the incremental die, it will hopefully re-roll and increment faster, higher, plus get us lots of points. Plus, it only costs 240 at this point, so we should be there before you know it. So as we're rolling, we want to look for that symbol in the upper left. That means every time it hits, that one die is going up and up and up. The numbers always seem so small in the early game, but we've only been through less than 200 rolls. Okay, so the re-roller is going on that die, which is already up to 9, so it can re-roll itself. After that, we're going to go for a shop upgrade that costs $500. For now, let's spin until we get the reroll to make sure I'm understanding that properly. So it's gone here, so the entire value of the roll was 22. I'm not sure how it lands on 22 of all things, but it's 22 for rolling this single die. We'll take it. And now it's 23 this time it rolled, so it looks like it's working. It re-rolls itself so it increments higher. Or maybe it rolls itself plus the die 2 other times, and that's why we can get strange results like that. That would make more sense. Yeah, okay, so it rolled 12, and then it rolled a 5 and then a 4. I get it now. I guess it just gives the die more chance to increment higher. It doesn't work quite the way I thought, but it still works well. Now we got the money we need for shop upgrade. So we'll do that. That also gives us a second die, which we'll put to work ASAP. There's a few things I want here. The first thing that comes to mind is a cheap 9 for a die. We need 82 points to get that. And that should happen quite quickly because we are rolling 2 die at this point. We already have it. So we're going to apply that to the 1. Next, I think I do want the numeric multiplier. This face is worth 4 times the largest rolled face. Given that this is already up to 19, I want those two to synergize together. We got 41 for this roll. That could have been over 100 already. We haven't even gone through 300 rolls yet. I'm so hopelessly addicted to all of this. Upgrades are going to get more expensive, so we need to be careful which ones we buy. The more we buy, the more expensive they get. So the ×4 can replace, say, the 2. We'll also re-roll the shop. We do need increments. So there's 2 increments here. I'm going to buy both of those. Probably should have bought one of those first, but that's okay. We'll keep going until we get a big roll. Got the first incrementer. We'll put that on the number 9. Numbers are going up. The incrementer already landed once. There's a ×4 ×5, so the result was 20. We'll slap that other incrementer somewhere perhaps over here so they can play together as well. Then we're going to re-roll the shop and see if there's anything fun to play with. I'm going to get a re-roller, a 3 times re-roller that will cost $500. $500 will not take a long time to make. So this one already has a bottom left multiplier. We'll throw it somewhere here. I'll throw it on the 5 for now, a nice medium die. I do also kind of want the die quantity multiplier. That costs 1500, but I think it's going to be worth it. With the re-rolls we get now too, we should get some pretty big value on some of these. Like this entire roll was 181 because of the re-rolls. There's a lot of different ways to get value in this, and it can get pretty ridiculously big. So this will be worth 20 times the highest one it faces. But we'll put it here because it'll be 20 times maybe the 40 on the other side. Next we're going for a shop upgrade. That costs about 2,000. So that should be 20 times 4. It's clearly not, so I'm not sure how that works. But it's a multiplier, so it'll get us results. So this is 86 and 40 with 126 total. So I clearly don't quite understand how that works, but I don't have to for now. We've quickly made 2,000. The shop gets upgraded, gives us a 3rd die. And this might set us up nicely for a gambling die because it already has a 4-leaf clover. It does cost $5,000, but if we buy that die, then add some gambles to it, we could make a lot. For now, I'm going to save up for the random numeric die. That will add a die with random faces between 1 and 50. That only costs 2,500, so it shouldn't take long at all to make. Some of our spins, I saw one for 300 in there, so this is actually quicker than I thought. So there's one more die up top. That's going to be just easy raw value for us, especially when there's a 37 involved. And with some of our multipliers as well, that's going to be big. So we'll save up for the 4-leaf clover die real quick. That shouldn't take long at all. Look at the thousands piling up. So that's going to go down there. That die is simply clovers, so we need to add some gamble things to the other side of it. This die over here is pretty boring as well. It needs some help. There is a half incrementer die I'm probably going to buy. Maybe not a die, but we're at half incrementers to the existing die. That only costs 887. So we're going to do that. That way the boring die gets upgraded over time. It took no time to be able to afford that. So this one's going to go up perpetually. There's actually a few things here I do like. We could take a lottery die. This will roll 100. It has a 30% chance of doing that. That's actually pretty cheap. So we're going to slap that down here on the 4-leaf clover thing. So there's now a reasonable chance that's going to roll 100. When it lands on it, it's a 1 in 3 at least. It obviously isn't going to land on it every spin. There's also a 10 times and a 5 times multiplier. I might take this. The face of this die is worth 10 times the largest rolled number. Given that can be 100 already, that can be 1,000. It's not the greatest odds, but it can. This spin was 300 anyway. We're pretty routinely hitting in the hundreds already. Maybe I want the adjacent one. That's only a few hundred more, so we'll roll for that for now. That's only going to take a few rolls. We'll slap that right here. That way it can go up or down to the other die. You can multiply off all of these, especially if that hits 100 or that hits a big one. Now we're looking for another 3,200 for our next upgrade. We'll see if the multiplier lands, how big it's going to be. There's a lot of luck based in this. I think this failed because that would have been a 5 times 100, but it was still a 204 roll overall. This one was 726 just for that, so that's a good sign. That's 369. The numbers are getting big quick. So the times 10, this can be just thrown anywhere. It doesn't really matter, so we'll throw it here. And then we're saving up for a new shop upgrade. That was 439, so the numbers are definitely getting big. There's an 805, 968, so we're saving up thousands fast. We have enough for the shop upgrade, so we're going to buy that. That added another die. We have plenty of die to work with already. Ooh, for 20,000 we can add a lottery die. I do like the sound of that. There's also a 15% chance for a times 7. This face, when rolled, has a 15% chance of being worth 7 times the value of all other dice in a roll. So we're getting some good gambling ones already. The rolls are getting big. We still need some big numbers and big multipliers. We need multipliers on multipliers. It would have been nice to orient them maybe somewhere else because this one can multiply here and here. The multiply of a gambling one would be stronger, obviously. But what can you do? One lottery die for us. So that one has a lot of chances to do a lot of things. It has a 1%, well, let's call it a 2% chance to get 80,000 should it land on those ones. There's also a 4-leaf clover that I was looking past this entire time. That's really cheap, so we're just going to spin till we get the $800 we need for that. And then we're going to stick it on the lottery die. We can replace one of these 100-point ones because 100 points is kind of insignificant. But now these have a higher chance of landing. So instead of 1%, it is 2.5%. And actually, if we get that money early on, that could give us a good boost because we could buy lots in the store. This costs 70,000 already, so it's really expensive, but I might save up for it. That's kind of a risk, obviously, given the state of things currently. I need more 99s. I need more die that are getting up there. Oh, wait, we just might have actually hit our lottery thing. Yeah, we did. We hit our 78,000, so that actually pushed us up to what we need to buy this. So that's actually really, really lucky. We'll put that down there in the lottery die. There's also a 10 times thing here, so we'll put that maybe here where it could play off of up, down, side to side. I know it is long odds for that to actually hit, but if it does, that would be a huge number. Now we're seeing more rolls in the thousands. I maybe want a 5 times multiplier. I've got to be careful that I don't add too many multipliers and still have some other stuff that can help. Like this only has 199. We need more things like 99s. There's also a times 3 multiplier, so I should put that somewhere, like on a 99. Also, I should add incrementer. These are actually cheap. We put that on a die like this. These will all go up now. Here's another incrementer. It only costs, like, it's going to be a roll or two to be able to afford that. These are at top left, so we can absolutely put it over here. We could add a die with 77 on every face. I actually kind of want that. That might work against me, but that's going to be a big die. And if we can get a 3x3 cube, that would feel pretty good. There's a 5,000 roll. So we'll lay this down. That's just big value. So that's going to help our multipliers, hopefully. 730, there's 1,200, 900, 1,800, 1,100. So next, I think I just want a shop upgrade because we want to be able to get the best available stuff. We had a roll for 4. There's another 4,000. We quickly saved up enough for the shop upgrade. That gave us another die. So we might have 2 boring die right now we need to fix. So we've restocked the shop. Now we'll see what we can add. We just found 2 pieces that synergize. I don't think I can use them, But if we buy this, if you roll 17 or more numeric 77s, all other basically faces change to a 77. Then this one, 11's reroll. When a numeric face is divisible by 11, like 77 is, it will be rerolled an additional 2 times. So we could have a lot of 77s rolling. I'm just trying to decide if that's actually a good thing or not. And a lot of our die have the upgraders on them, so they won't stay 77 for long. It would be a very fun build though, wouldn't it? Okay, but then again, we'd have to roll that many 77s. We could only roll 9 possibly now, so let's just put that out of mind right away. Ooh, look at this. When a lottery face is rolled with an adjacent lottery face or a 4-leaf clover on its left and right, it will be worth 10 times more if successful. Additionally, allows lottery faces to receive the effect of attached multipliers. Oh, I thought they already were, but that's good to know. So we better get saving up for that. We should be able to get there reasonably quick. I just had a successful lottery strike, so we got 77,000 out of that. Could have been 10 times more if we had the piece we're looking for. I don't know if I should be taking this big of gaps to get upgrades, but I guess the more expensive things we buy, the more expensive things get anyway. So this is just a passive, but I need to be sure I understand this. It's got a lottery face has got to roll with a lottery face or a 4-leaf clover on its left and right, I believe. So we just need more lottery dice. There's also times for a multiplier I'm going to buy just for some easy earnings. So when the lottery things do land, we might need a few more die to really make that work properly, or we got to change things around a little bit. Okay, times for a multiplier. This face is worth 4 times the value of all of the non-slow dice in the roll. So we'll throw that somewhere insignificant for now. It's only 21,000 to add a clover die. We've repressed the shop, so we're going to buy that. That's just more luck for our gambles. Ooh, here's another one. Lucky 7s. Lottery faces that are adjacent to a number 7 or 77 are twice as likely to be successful. We do have some 77s up top here, so that could potentially be big for us. First, the clover die. That's going to go over there. And then we're going to save up for the 77 thing. I think that's going to be a passive, but we'll put the lottery dies accordingly. So we'll buy this. We still have 1,500 rolls, so lottery here are more likely to go off. Here. I guess a lot of them really. We just need more lottery spots. There's also an ultra incrementer I'm going to buy real quick because it's not super expensive. With the rate we're rolling, that could only be a few spins even. So increments the face that is attached to an all adjacent faces. So it's going to make a lot of things go up. We're going to put that maybe down here. I think that's going to affect the entire die. Probably going to end up re-rolling quite a bit in this one, just to be sure we're getting what we're looking for. How about this one? No glue or super glue. If no glue or super glue are rolled, all dice will be rolled an additional time. There's actually a lot of things here I like. We'll start with the glue thing because I don't have any of that, so we need $300,000. That's not asking a lot, is it? I'm kind of getting away. There's a $400,000 roll though, to be fair, so we can instantly buy this. So I think every roll we get an extra roll because I don't believe I have any glue. We're rolling a lot of 10,000s. There's a 40,000, so the numbers are going to add up pretty quickly. The lottery odds are pretty good. We can do better. So following roll multiplier. When this face is rolled, the next roll on the same die will be worth 10 times more. I'm going to throw that down here. So when that goes off, that'll multiply, hopefully like a triple, quadruple multiplier. Then we're going to do a lottery multiplier. We can stick that on any die we want, so we can choose where it goes and therefore manipulate its odds. So I think the 10 just rolled here, so when it rolls this time, it gave us 940 by itself. So had it hit another multiplier, it could have been much, much bigger. There's an $80,000 roll, so some of the rolls are getting pretty big. They're wildly inconsistent because of the gambling. So we'll do the lottery roll, and we're going to stick that somewhere maybe up here, because this one, yeah, this one between a clover and a 77, I think that's a good thing. So we'll slap it in there, and hopefully that's going to be an increased value. We're going to re-roll looking for more gamblers. So we'll take a few spins with that to see how that feels. We're getting some 10,000s. We already saved up enough for a 10 times multiplier. So I'm going to slap that on just that one for now. That's just a bigger value when it does turn up. This one is interesting too. Every die in a run will be multiplied by the highest number in the run. I don't really know what the run means, but I don't have to. We can just roll for now. I think I'll put that maybe here, like a run might be 3 in a row. So if 3 in a row numbers show up, it will be huge value. Die number 7 triggered there, so this one got its 7,000. It didn't get its multiplier, unfortunately, because it's not properly placed. So yes, this would have to go 3 die placed in a row, like 3 numbers, kind of like that. If these 3 all landed, it would be a big multiplier. So again, we got low odds to roll some of these, but there's back-to-back 25,000, so we're getting there. I definitely want more clovers and lotteries, but for now I will also take a doubles bonus. The value of all doubles will be increased by 100%. Gonna need some money even just to re-roll, so we're gonna do just that, hoping for some big results. Okay, we did find 2 lottery results. This is good, because I can slap these around and we can use these to our advantage. Even this one, when rolled, this face has a 1% chance to increase the number of shop refreshes by 7. If I thought it was going to have more refreshes, we would take that. There's also a passive we'll buy, lucky rerolls. Lottery faces are increasingly likely to be successful the more times they are re-rolled. So if we get some rerolls on some of those lottery die, we'll be in good shape. So we need to do a few rolls to save up some money. Shouldn't take long at all with the amount we're getting. So we'll start with this one. We'll have a 5% chance to get 5,000. And we're going to stick that one right there. So now this one is surrounded by a clover or lottery and lottery on this side. So it's got a chance to be a big multiplier. And then a 10% chance of 2,500 I'm also going to stick in here. That's also between a lottery and a clover. This one's also interesting, a lottery die generator. I've re-rolled the shop. When rolled, this face has a 0.5% chance to create a new lottery die. I'm going to try that just because we can stack up more lottery die, and the more of those around there are, the better it's going to be because it increases their odds. We just need 220,000, so let's hope for some of our things playing off each other well. We're still getting lots in the 10,000s. There is a 20,000, there's 25,000, so we'll add this face somewhere seemingly insignificant down there. It would be nice if that had a better chance to go off, but it's a big risk, but hopefully it will generate enough to make itself go off. Though that one might have been better off to nestle up in here, so it would have a stronger chance. Even the rerolls are getting expensive. Luckily we're getting rich, so we're going to keep rolling, hoping for the amazing pieces. The following roll multiplier, we're going to take another one of those. That only costs 1 million. There's a few pieces there we want. Shouldn't take us that long to save up 1 million. There's an 80,000 roll. We got a new die. Perfect. So that generated, that was like a very low % chance to happen, but we got it. And if we have this unlimited lottery die, then we could just every roll, even if it's a 1 in 1,000 chance, might trigger. Okay, so 10 times on the following roll, we just got to decide where we want to stick that. I'm going to stick it up here where it can likely hit a 99, but maybe trigger off one of those. I don't know if they even can, but I think according to one of my passives, it might work that way. There's also, we can add an exact duplicate of one of my die. That could be huge. That is going to cost 2 million, but some of my die are pretty valuable. Like if I could just get another one of those, we would be in good shape. We're down to about 1,300 rolls left though, so we really got to manage to increase the value here. We are getting lots of rolls worth 100,000, but on the low end, we're getting 5,000. I think I'm going to duplicate this one up top. I probably could actually check the roll to see where the value came from. Like I need to see a big roll and then see which one made the value. Die number 6 made a lot there. Die number 7. So that was just a lottery die. That's probably where the big numbers come from. It's just the lottery die. I'm just going to duplicate this because it has the 4-leaf clover and the lottery on it. So now we have another one with a strong chance of that actually performing. Like there, it just made us 77,000 because that triggered, which means we get another free reroll. This passive is nice. All of the shop slots in the rightmost column will now be passives. Usually we only get 1 or 2 passives, so we'll go ahead and lock that down. That is going to cost 4 million. That hopefully won't take long. We did just get a roll worth 600,000 if I saw that correctly, so the values are going to get up there at times. There's another lottery die as well. We're already up to 2.6, coming up on 3 million. We get a lot of little rolls and occasional one worth maybe 1 million. There's another lottery die, and I think another one. So the lottery die are spreading. The more of those around, the better odds they have of they themselves going off. Okay, so now if we throw a reroll down, it should be lots more passives. Things are getting expensive, even the rerolls. Luckily, we're getting lots of value per roll. Grants 1 free refresh. That's cheaper than doing it the other way. You know, I was planning on keeping fewer die this time around, but it didn't really work out that way. But they are spreading, and like I said, the more they spread, the better our chances are. This one's interesting. For each unique numeric that is rolled, increase the value of all numeric faces by 15%. Don't have a lot of differences, really. So that's maybe not actually worth it. Like, a lot of our values are simply 77 or 99. So it looks like we're headed for a reroll in the shop. That only costs 300,000 at this point. Lottery bonus. This is what we need. The value of all lottery faces will be worth an additional 300%. And we definitely need that sooner than later, because the lottery is where we're making our money right now, and we want more. I wonder if that applies to the die generator. Imagine if it could produce 3 die when it lands. Okay, 300% lottery winnings. There's also a die quantity multiplier. This face is worth 100 times the total number of die in play. That's only 700,000. That was a $125,000 roll, so it's only a few spins to get that. We'll slap that just somewhere over here on the 4-leaf clover because that's just sort of a useless thing right now anyway. The no weight bonus, I feel like we should buy that. If no lightweight, heavyweight, or super heavyweights are rolled, the value of all is increased by 200%. The problem is I feel like I bought some weights somewhere. It would just take a second to find them because of what's out there. But the odds of them landing are probably slim right now, so let's flag that for 4 million. So we're coming up on 1,000 remaining rolls, but once a lottery starts to strike, things will go up quickly. There we go. This roll was worth 2.6 million because die number 4 was worth 2.2 million. So that was a lottery success. So suddenly that $4 million doesn't seem that far away considering we almost did it in a single roll. Okay, now the no weight thing, we got some rerolls. So let's see if we get more gambles. I do think I want to buy another 10 times multiplier. That's a top right multiplier. There's a lot of places I could and probably should stick this. I wonder if it applies on this. No, it won't apply on that. This? Oh, it will apply on that. Okay, if that strikes again, that will be big. Also, the Yahtzee bonus. The value of Yahtzees will be increased by 500%. It looks like the Yahtzee bonus is 5 numeric faces with the same number value rolled at the same time. I think we have lots of 99s or 77s. We might get 99s on that. I'm going to flag that just because I feel like it's not super expensive for what that is right now. We'll hopefully get that and get more of the same things popping up. I realize this is maybe a bit of a high risk one this late in the round, but we're going to keep going for it. High risk, high reward. So we bought the Yahtzee. We'll save up for a reroll because that costs $1 million, which should take a few spins at this rate. We've got 2 lottery die choices at the bottom. We can take those for sure. I think I also want to buy some even half incrementers at this point just to get some of these other values up, because we really do have not enough just raw values down. So this down here is going to get incrementers all over it. And we'll save up for 2 more lottery die, which shouldn't take long at the rate we're making money. So now this one has strong odds because when they're nestled between lotteries or clovers, they tend to do well. Ooh, see, that roll was 10 million. That's because die number 7, which was this one because it's nestled between. So we'll buy another lottery die. That'll go up there. Perfect. And we're going to re-roll and continue looking for all the good stuff. Well, the Yahtzee bonus, the value of Yahtzees will be increased by 1,000%. I'm just not really sure how often that's going to happen because that would have to be 5 of the same. And with the amount of gambles, I'm not confident that's going to happen. Attached multipliers no longer replace existing attached multipliers. Instead, they add together. I want that. That's 15 million. That shouldn't be too far away. With a few lucky rolls, that could actually be 1 roll even. So we'll buy that. And then a re-roll is pretty expensive. But now if we want to add some multipliers to something, we can get big results. So we'll re-roll, hoping for multipliers or something else equally fun. There is a 4-leaf clover. We definitely want to stack that on somewhere that needs a bit of help. I think a clover here would actually make that one land a lot more. So we'll stick that there. This is interesting. It allows all group effects to be applied to non-numeric faces as well as numeric. I think my gambling ones are non-numeric, so I might try and save up for that. That's $73 million. But if we happen to get real lucky, that could be to our benefit. At least I think. It gets a little confusing at this point because there's a lot of different things to factor in. I went for a simple concept, but made it very convoluted. But we are enjoying gambling, so what really matters is that I'm full of dopamine. There's a spin for 2.2 million, but that's still not nearly good enough. We need billions or trillions. Like, that was a $4.5 million roll, which feels pretty good. There's a $7.5 million roll, so we're getting there. I think this will be worth it. If we can manage to get that 75 million before too long, we'll buy that and then see what we could do. Because then the group effects can hit our potential gambling multipliers. Okay, we hit that. So we're going to buy that, which is really expensive. Then we re-roll looking for more. The value of all triples will be increased by 200% effect. Triples, that could now be our gambling too. We can also add a lottery die too. So we need about $30 million, which shouldn't be that hard to make. There's 3 million, there's 1 million, 1.5. Okay, triples we now have. The lottery die we'll get next. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get the 11s bonus first. The value of all numeric faces divisible by 11 will be increased 100%. So my 99s and 77s, which we have a lot of, will take advantage of that in a big way. There was an $11 million roll, so they're getting bigger. There's 3.6 million. So we bought the divisible by 11s thing, we get a free reroll. For 62 million, highest die double. Doubles the value of the highest scoring die. I think that one's also going to be quite good. Also triple reroll. When a triple is rolled, all 3 dice will be re-rolled. That's only 25 million. We're going to go for that first because we don't have a ton of spins left. But getting rerolls could be more gambles and more extra die added. So we'll do that. So now we're going to get potential rerolls on the triples, which should land like we're seeing a lot of similar things. There's a $14 million roll. I think that was the biggest single roll we've had so far. We only need 62 million. Already got it because there's a $16 million roll. The highest scoring die will be doubled. And I forgot about my multiplier thing, so I could get even bigger multipliers on some of these. I wonder if it worked with adjacency multipliers. Doesn't seem to. Alright, we just need something else with an already multiplier that we could multiply bigger. Or just add it to something out there for that matter, like that. There's also a 10 times multiplier, so we can add that to something that should be pretty big. This one actually can be big sometimes. Even a reroll at this point is many millions of dollars, so we got to be careful what we spend, but we're consistently in the millions now. There's a $20 million spin. So we'll spin that. That looks like gambling. There's so many good things that it's hard to know what to take. Lottery faces are increasingly likely to be successful the more times they are re-rolled. We're going to lock that down at 163 million. So we'll see if we can actually afford that at some point. We're going to get there because we did it in like 3 rolls because of our gambling. So lottery things are more likely to be done the more times they're re-rolled. I know some of these have a good chance to re-roll. So this is where something like the random adjacency roller would come in. When rolled, apply between 10 to 25 rerolls distributed randomly amongst all adjacent dice. So if we put that between a bunch of gamblers, it would go bananas and make them all roll and get huge value. So we'll keep spinning. There's 9 million, 2.5 million, 200,000, 1.35 million. The numbers get big. That roll was 43 million by itself. So that's going to give us the adjacency reroller. We just need to put it somewhere between a bunch of gamblers. I think I'm going to put that right here. That way it's going to go off this one, this one, this one. That one doesn't have any gambles on it, but we'll try and add one. There's also this. The value of all rerolled dice will be increased by 50%. I'm going to try and put that maybe on one of these. That way when that thing does go off, that could be huge value. Like there's a 25 million roll. Some of these are going to be big. Again, they're going to be really inconsistent from anywhere from like 100,000 to like 200 million. Okay, so 50% reroll value. That simply just exists, so we don't need to do anything further with that. We just sit back and roll now. Yeah, there's 51 million. I think that came out of this die. Nope, that came out of this die that landed on 99 because of all the stuff you see in the lower left. Oh wait, we broke that. There's 95 billion in a single roll. That was die 4 again. So now we're often making in the tens of millions, even hundreds of millions from one of our rolls. Here's a very consistent one. If the total quantity of dice in play is less than 30, the value of all dice will be increased 100%. I very much have less than 30. I also want these 10 times rerolls. These cost $500 million each. I don't think that's going to be that hard to hit at this point, considering we can make hundreds of millions in a single roll if we're lucky. Like there is 234 million. That was die 12, which is this one, because that thing landed. Look at all the multipliers. Ooh, there's a $1 billion spin, 1.4 billion for a single, which means we can get the 10-time reroll. So we'll stick that somewhere here just in case that happens. I'm pretty sure the 10 times can affect that now. We're going to do the same up here. We'll take away that one. I did a very expensive reroll because I'm pretty sure... Oh, that's a good one, actually. We need to add this somewhere that doesn't have one, like down here. Because we want them all sandwiched between the gamblers when we can get them. This is such a big dead spot in the middle, but up here is making up for it. That also has one. We can still stick one here. Oh, the value of all lottery faces will be worth an additional 500%. Yeah, we're going to lock that down. Hopefully we're able to reach that. There's 68 million, 149 million, 1.8 million. There's 272 million, so the numbers are definitely getting big. Hundreds of millions of dollars are not out of the question at this point. And that's good because we need to make like 1.8 billion. I can't remember what the number was, but we got to be getting close. Okay, 500% lottery winnings. Our numbers are about to go even higher. Well, a few spins later, 179 million. There's 95 million. They're teetering right on that edge. There's 100 million. I want more billion-dollar spins. I want more super billion-dollar spins. I'm doing this so quickly, I'm misreading the numbers a lot. I need to take a breath. But we have $2 billion. I know that much. We get a free respin. Here's another gamble die. I'm going to throw that somewhere up here where it's a bit of a dead spot right now, just because it could play off these other things so very well. Actually, we need one over here too, just so this can actually be doing something. Our reroll is 1.5 billion, so we better hope that we like all these. I'm pretty sure if I roll enough times, that gets cheaper anyway. Okay, this roll was 2.3 billion, so that feels good. The 1.5 billion reroll doesn't feel so insane anymore. We got $6.5 billion, so I am going to reroll. Ooh, that's got to be good. It's actually not. 4-leaf clovers are considered viral, have a chance when rolled to replace any other adjacent die face with a 4-leaf clover. That's so risky. It would make other lottery things go off, but it would also like ruin the run entirely. We'll take a 5 times multiplier and stack it on that thing, and a 5 times reroll and stack it somewhere, I don't know, down there. And then it's back to rolling again. But whatever we're doing seems to be working. Die 5 itself got 7 billion. That was an $8 billion roll. Okay, we got about 300 rolls left. We got $15 billion. So now we need to decide if there's anything else we want to buy or just roll for the end. This one would have been insanely strong earlier. Diagonal adjacency. Adjacent now includes obviously the angles, not just straight up and down and left and right. I guess I will take this one gamble. There's a 1% chance to land on this. It would be nice to tuck that. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to mark this just because it's super powerful, but at this point, we're probably just rolling for the end. We'll just high-speed roll through a few of these and kind of watch our money to see if anything big and obnoxious happens. But obviously, we want a high score by the end anyway. We're up to 40 billion at this point. We got 39 rolls left. We did just hit a $2 billion roll. There's a $10 billion roll. At the diagonally adjacent, well, we got 69 billion now. We've only got 36 rolls left. There's no way this could be worth it, but I'm going to buy it anyway, just in case. You never know. We also have free rerolls, so let's see all the stuff we can't afford that we're going to miss. There's nothing there that was particularly good. So we'll just re-roll the last times and see if the adjacent thing was as strong as I think it would have been. I don't think it would have paid off like every single roll, but every once in a while that could have made a gigantic difference. Just because of, if things are adjacent to each other, they have a big chance. There's 7.5 billion. Actually, we made a lot of money back. We're still at $30 billion again. So it's a shame we didn't find that earlier. 28 billion though is pretty good. And we did consistently get better and better and better. Highest scoring roll was 9 billion. I want trillions or more.